She couldn't stand up. She couldn't walk. She didn't even have the strength to move around inside the tiny cage where she was found. Her body was so thin that it barely looked alive. But deep inside those tired eyes, there was still something incredibly strong. It all happened in a vacant property in Jacksonville, Florida. The owner of the property entered the place without imagining the heartbreaking scene she was about to witness. In one corner, completely alone, was an extremely weak little dog trapped inside a cage. She barely had enough energy to move. Her body was nothing but skin and bones. That little dog would later be named Hazel. As soon as the woman realized how critical the situation was, she acted quickly and contacted a local veterinary clinic. Every minute mattered. Hazel needed help immediately. When she arrived at the clinic, everyone was shocked. The staff had already seen many difficult rescue cases, but Hazel caught everyone's attention instantly. She weighed just over 7 pounds. She was so light and fragile that it was hard to believe she was still alive. Madison Ellis, a veterinary technician at the clinic, was deeply moved the moment she saw her. Hazel didn't even have the strength to stand. Her body had suffered so much from starvation and neglect that she could no longer do basic things on her own. During the first few days, Madison had to manually help her with nearly everything. The situation was extremely serious. The veterinarians knew that severely malnourished animals face enormous risks. The body enters such an intense survival mode that any sudden change can become dangerous. Even something as simple as eating too much food too quickly can be fatal. That's why Hazel's first treatments were handled with extreme care. She received intravenous fluids for hydration, medications, and carefully controlled meals given in very small portions. Everything was monitored closely. The goal wasn't simply to help her gain weight. It was to keep her body functioning without overwhelming organs that were already dangerously weak. Many people don't realize that dogs who have suffered long periods without proper food can develop something called refeeding syndrome. When the body suddenly receives nutrients after prolonged starvation, dangerous imbalances in electrolytes, vitamins, and fluids can occur. This can affect critical organs such as the heart and brain. That's why veterinarians always warn people, if you find an extremely thin animal, the safest thing to do is seek professional help immediately. The natural instinct is to feed them as much as possible right away, but proper recovery must happen gradually. And that was exactly the case with Hazel. At first, the medical team wasn't sure she would survive. Her condition seemed too severe. Madison later admitted that the staff decided to wait through the weekend just to see whether Hazel would show any sign of improvement. Then something unexpected happened. By Monday, Hazel was trying to steady herself on her paws. It was a tiny movement, almost unnoticeable to anyone looking quickly. But for everyone at the clinic, it meant hope. For the first time, this fragile little dog was showing that she was still fighting. The following days became emotional for everyone involved. Hazel slowly began responding to treatment. She still fell often. She still looked exhausted most of the time. But now there was progress. Every tiny step felt like a huge victory. During the first week, she managed to walk for a few seconds before losing balance. Then she would try again and again, as if she simply refused to give up. Dogs have an incredible ability to recover emotionally. Even after experiencing terrible situations, many continue to show affection, trust, and joy. And Hazel seemed to carry exactly that spirit inside her. Little by little, the sweet personality hidden behind all that suffering began to appear. The staff realized that despite everything she had gone through, Hazel was gentle, calm, and incredibly loving. It almost seemed as if she understood that these people were trying to save her life. It took about 3 weeks before she was finally able to walk normally again. And when that moment came, no one could hide their emotions. The little dog who once couldn't even lift herself was now walking through the clinic hallways, but her transformation didn't stop there. As the months passed, Hazel regained weight, strength, and energy. Her body changed completely. The dog who once looked like a living skeleton now had bright eyes, excitement, and happiness. She gained around 10 pounds during her recovery. Her muscles became stronger. Her coat grew healthier, and that exhausted expression was replaced with a joyful sparkle. What amazed everyone the most was how much Hazel learned to enjoy the simple things in life. She started running, playing, jumping, interacting with other dogs. She found happiness in moments that once seemed impossible for her. Madison witnessed all of this every day and became more emotionally attached to Hazel over time. Their bond grew so strong that something beautiful happened. Madison decided to adopt her. After following Hazel's entire journey from near death to recovery, she realized she couldn't imagine letting her go. And just like that, Hazel finally found a real home. Today, the little dog lives surrounded by love, safety, and care. Sometimes she even goes to work with Madison just to stay close to her, almost as if she knows exactly who stood beside her when everything seemed hopeless. According to Madison, every single day when she comes home, Hazel greets her the same way, carrying a toy and wagging her whole body with excitement. It's as if the little dog wants to show gratitude for every new day she gets to live. Stories like Hazel's also serve as an important reminder about caring for severely underweight animals. Extreme weight loss in dogs can happen for many reasons beyond lack of food, including illnesses, infections, and parasites. That's why veterinary care is so important. Experts explain that proper treatment usually involves hydration, medical exams, carefully controlled feeding, and constant monitoring. Overusing supplements or giving inappropriate foods can actually cause even more harm. Dogs recovering from starvation also need patience. Healthy weight gain takes time. The body must slowly readjust in order to function properly again. In Hazel's case, that careful treatment made the difference between life and death. And perhaps the most beautiful part of her story is realizing that even after experiencing abandonment, hunger, and suffering, she never completely lost her ability to trust. Today, the little dog who was once left alone inside a cage now lives surrounded by love. She runs through the house, plays happily, receives affection, sleeps safely, and finally understands what it means to belong to a family. Sometimes, all it takes is one person deciding to help in order to completely change an animal's destiny. And Hazel is living proof of that. Do you believe rescued animals can feel gratitude toward the people who save their lives? Subscribe to the channel and keep following real news and true stories.